All right, guys, it's August 1st, and I wish I could say in honesty that I've been scouting and doing all my preseason stuff for weeks now, but that would be a lie. So feeling a little behind the 8 ball here to start the season. It's August 1st, season openers in about 6 weeks, and I'm just deploying cameras now and clearing trails, and also in the next few days I'll be going around and confirming all of my permissions that I have from all the other landowners. So stick with me, season starts right now. Oh, JoJo, she's ready. JoJo Beans is ready. Let's do it. Bad shot angle idea. Just trimming the paths. As you all know, it's all about access. Oh yeah, this is looking beat up in here. Big heavy trails all kind of converging up here. This is destination right here. This is bedding over here. And that tree stand that we just weed whacked by, that ladder stand's kind of one of my bread and butter spots. Access is amazing from down, always downwind. From lower elevation, you kind of sneak up, and right when you get to the rise, you're already up in the tree, and these deer are just moving through from bedding to final destination out to feed. And this is looking good. Actually, this is the most beaten down and fresh sign that I've seen back here coming off of this far eastern side of this bedding area in many years. So I'm just gonna kind of explore up this way. I'm gonna leave the weed whacker here at the mouth. This is looking pretty clear and open in here. It's not as much of a jungle as I thought it was going to be. I don't want to disturb it too much if this is how heavy the movement is through here. So it's kind of what I like to do, is go a little bit slower. Don't blow out the place by drastically changing the environment too much. A weed whack path here and there is fine, but this is a really, you can just tell. I'm going to turn on my other camera here, but you can just tell how safe these deer are going to be. All right, I'm on this little 2.5 acre piece of property across the road from me that I got permission to hunt a few years back. Killed quite a few deer out of that double tree over there, about 40 yards away. Made a real nice sneaky access trail that butts into the road. But this is looking good in here. Feeling really confident here. I've only been at this for about a day now, but everything just seems to be clicking in here. Seeing a lot of sign. Not a lot of work to be done in here for this year. I'm going to show you a little trick about clearing an access trail off a public walkway or road here in 2 seconds. All right, I am done cutting this access trail. I want to show you a quick tip here. There's a road right on the other side of this to the left. And a lot of people walk this neighborhood road. And you can see how nice of a path I made, a nice and quiet path here. This would stick out like a sore thumb. Except you don't run it to the road. Okay? You don't take this path. It stops right here. There's another probably 10 yards to go to get to the road. So never cut your trail all the way to the road. Start it in and around a bend, and then start your trail. And your trail will be a nice secret for you. So those other bow hunters don't know. how you're accessing this place. Comes a car now. Sneaky sneak. Get primal. All right, it's August 5th. I'm out here clearing trails, working on access, being able to sneak up into these parts here. This was a jungle about an hour ago. But I want to show you why I'm doing what I'm doing and why I come out here and spend so much time. I'm definitely finding I'm out of shape, that's for sure. But if we look down this trail here, this was about as thick as this trail looks about an hour ago. But what you can see is this trail runs right past that single ladder stand that is so successful. That's just one of those bomb-proof setups I was showing you guys a few days ago. But what's happening is these deer, since this was so thick, they started dropping down this little corridor here. You see this heavy deer trail. And this heavy deer trail goes towards that single ladder stand and then it wives. And one of those trails was coming in downwind of my ambush. You can hear JoJo down there over the hill. So by getting lazy for a year, and letting this main artery access trail grow over, the deer are gonna use the path of least resistance. So this became too tight. They started dropping down this corridor, and now the movement pattern has them coming in slightly downwind of me, or at least giving them a better opportunity to wind me if the wind is a little sketchy. So to continue to maintain that bomb-proof setup of that single ladder stand, I'm gonna make sure this is as clear and open as easy as possible. Cut this fallen log over here and continue to move through. And that's where that trail started from the video the other day when I was out here clearing trails. I kind of worked my way this way and I got stuck because it's so thick in here. So I came up here. It's August 5th. Gonna keep working at it, so. All right, the hunt is on. Deer superhighway. All right, this is what it looks like from that ladder stand here. You guys have been up in this tree with me so many seasons in a row now. You guys probably know exactly what this is. But here's where that main trail comes out. Shooting deer here. It's a big shooting area. Also down in here too. To my left. So I'm just clearing shooting lanes, so I'm gonna take a little bit of that out. Probably a little bit of this out here, because they do like to come off this trail and keep it tight right in here. They move right through here. As they move this way, they move that way, up that way. So, right on the edge of my neighbor's property, over here, downwind side of the bedding area, over here. Just a dynamite setup. My access comes from back here. So I sneak up from downhill, and the wind is always coming this direction, quartering. So when those deer come out on this trail here, the wind is in their favor because they're kind of scenting the whole bedding area as they're moving through, and they're also scenting this neighbor's green field over here. So I'm here just barely playing that wind. You can hear JoJo down there. She is mad I'm up here by myself. Okay, all right. I'm gonna trim some shooting lanes and call it a day. you thinking? What are you doing? All right, I am setting a mock blood trail for JoJo. I have some, you can hear her across the way. I just walked out of the yard, she's not too happy. So I have some deer blood here from last season. Have a leg that I cut off of one of the does. So I try to keep as much chest cavity blood, and I cut all the legs off, all the feet off of my deer. And then I can just run a mock blood trail. So what I'm gonna do is start it off easy. This is the first one of the year for her. I'm just gonna start it right here, right in the middle of this deer path. This is that big access trail I cut the other day. And I'm just gonna drip some blood, get her going, maybe soak the foot in some of that deer blood, and then drag it along, do some 90 degrees, make it pretty confusing for her. The scent's gonna be so fresh. It's gonna be a pretty easy track for her, but aside from that, let's go. It's that time of year. All right, so I just have this deer leg here, and I'll pick it up a little bit, walk a few, drop it down again. And again, I know there's gonna be a lot of trainers here that have really experienced tracking dogs. They're gonna say this is way too easy of a track, which it is, but I wanna ease her into this a little bit. Oh, good girl, JoJo! Good girl, JoJo! That was amazing! Good girl! Good girl! That was so good! Good girl! Good girl! That was so good! Dude, that was really good. That was so good. I'm surprised at how slow she worked. She never works that slow like that. Good girl, JoJo! That was so good! Good job! All right, guys, I didn't really know how to kind of wrap up like the season prep footage. I haven't done a really good job and been very diligent showing everything I've done over the last week. You saw me like clearing access trails and trimming shooting lanes and whatnot from the property standpoint, but I also went on a door knocking spree, got a lot of reconfirmed yeses, working on a few properties that I got no's for last year, but I always leave those permission conversations with a question. If I get a no, can I stop back next year to see if your situation has changed? And they usually feel guilty about giving me a no. They give me that yes, and that just gives me an excuse to stop by the next year and, you know, show them my face again and try to build that relationship. And I have an 81-acre property and a 22-acre property right now that I'm waiting on callbacks that I got no's last year, and hey, I got to call a cousin who hunts here. So feeling really good about these, but now that I have the properties kind of managed and feeling good, I'm feeling confident about the season and the deer numbers and how they're moving through the woods. Now I'm just going to start focusing on my hunting rig, tuning, down selecting to certain arrows and broadheads and whatnot. So that's kind of where the content's going to be going here over the next week or so. Okay, guys, I love you guys. Good promo.